Would you be interested in playing Michael Myers again?
No, I'm done. I'm done. I think a befitting end to this for me was having the character die.
Mr. James Jude Courtney, everybody. Anywhere you like, sir. All right, so we've got quite the crowd here, and we've got little Alpha Sigma in the front here. Have you been versed in the new lingo that Gen Alpha has?
No, I have not.
So you've never heard Skibbity Toilet or Skibbity Ohio?
Nope.
Okay, so for this young gentleman right here, he said he wanted to hear you use some Alpha Sigma lingo. So what's something we can have him say for you?
Well, bro, we don't know what it is, so you got to help me out here.
So you want to say, "I've got that Alpha Sigma Riz."
Yo, I've got that Alpha Sigma Riz. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he just turned me into a beta right there. Thanks so much for doing this. When you come out and do this, does this ever get tiring?
No, man, this is fun.
It's totally fun. How's your weekend been going?
That's great, man. It's the people make it everything.
Yeah. Do you have people come up to you still that surprise you with facts about yourself? Because we hear that from so many people. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm surprised you knew that. I barely knew that."
Well, dude, I forget things. I don't have a great memory. I have a great short-term memory. Like, I'm great at testing. For instance, I have a doctorate, and so testing comps, that kind of stuff, I'm super easy. But then I forget everything. So I forget. Most of my life I've forgotten, and frankly I don't give a shit because I'm more interested in this in the moment,
the current,
than the past. It's already gone.
That's amazing. And now I would be remiss if I just let you wax over the whole. You've got a doctorate. What do you have a doctorate in?
In naturopathic medicine.
Oh, nice. All right.
Is it,
just I'm a little sore right here, but
that'll be $500.
Oh, damn! I'm not sore anymore. The little Sigma's going to pay for it. It's all right. It's all good. So you've had a storied and great career. What are your standouts for you though? Like when you look back, what is the stuff that you're like, okay, this was a moment for me. This is something I'm really proud of, and this is something that maybe I'd like to forget.
The forget things. I don't know, not so much. But like Tom Cruise, working with Tom Cruise was amazing and far and away.
Yeah.
And for the short amount of screen time I worked for months on that film.
Right.
So I spent a lot of time with some very, very talented people. Of course, the Halloween films, and I mean, those are the pinnacle thus far for me. Because the character is so incredible. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was an amazing show. And Sarah Marie Gellar and Jamie Lee Curtis are very similar human beings.
I could see that.
I mean, they're really special women, so but all of it was. I mean, Babylon 5. I was on, and I can't get IMDb to even list all of my credits. I mean, I did so many Babylon 5s, but. Because I stunt doubled Jerry Doyle. So I stunt double a human. And because I was a human, I could also play an alien in any episode. So I played lots and lots of aliens. And so, I don't know, man, it's just been fun, know? Also, what I missed, man, is the... early in my career, I did the Adventures of Conan, the Conan show at Universal Studios on the tour. So in that show, in the beginning, I was Kobad Shah, double swordsman. And then I took on the role of Taurus Mordor, which was... I fought with a big claymore. And did a 20-foot high fall into a flaming pit. That was so much fun.
We have a different idea of what fun is, but it sounds great. It sounds great. So, can you tell me a little bit about your background? Obviously, you boxed in Far and Away. You talk about handling a claymore. What is your background when it comes to training? Like, did you have martial arts training before you got into the business, or is that something you kind of got as you were already in the business?
No. I started in 7th grade. I was getting my ass kicked, and so I decided that wasn't a good idea. And so I found an instructor who was a boxer in the '56 Olympics, and he combined boxing, judo, savate, and jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
so it was kind of like the early, the predecessor of what we now know as MMA.
Right.
So I started that, and then I boxed, and then I have over the years studied different martial arts. I was just in Japan a few weeks ago, and I went to the dojo, Hambo Dojo in Tokyo, where one of the arts I practiced was Aikido.
Yeah.
And so got to go and hang out,
So are you saying you could take Steven Seagal?
Man. Yeah.
That's always a difficult question with Steven. So we've talked about these highlights, your training, your background, and then we get all these great fans that you deal with. But I think the majority of people here, like, you're all Halloween fans, right? Yeah, we all like the Michael Myers. How often does William Shatner thank you for...
I don't think William Shatner knows I exist.
That is true, and he had dinner with him last night. No, no. But what about Halloween? Because you talked about how great that character is. What is it about Michael Myers, though, for you specifically, that makes that character so appealing?
Well, I mean, obviously, because I played the character, I know the intricacies and intimacies of the psychology and the emotion and the spirituality of this character. So for me, having inhabited the character, or rather having the character having inhabited me, I have a perspective, and it goes really beyond words. You know what I mean? It's a space, it's a place, it's a beingness. So it's not something I can really explain, because to explain it, I'd have to intellectualize it, and to intellectualize it to me would diminish the fullness of what it is.
Right.
So, it's a very powerful thing. Having seen the movie, the 1978, in the theaters when I was in college, I had no idea. I knew I was going to make movies. I knew I'd be an actor. I had no idea that, flash forward 40 years, I'd be playing this, incredibly wonderful character that Nick Castle originated.
Amazing. And now, folks, I don't want you to think I'm maximizing your time here, because you are here to see him as well. So if you have any questions, we have a gentleman in the back who's got a microphone, and he'll come on up to you. So we got one here, and then we'll do tie-dye next. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Sal.
Yeah, we've only done 10 times.
I know. This is the first time I got your name. I'm sorry, Sal.
Hit the head more than me, man. What's up?
I'm actually I hear about Mike Myers all the time. I even see him when he's like creeping up behind me and stuff like that. But would you ever like to see like your character Mike Myers actually come into Mortal Kombat? Because we have like a lot of horror themed characters being guest characters in Mortal Kombat. Would you ever like to see Mike Myers in Mortal Kombat?
With one exception, everybody who's played this character, everybody who's actually played the character, we all have a certain ethos and credo. We will not put the mask and the costume on for photo ops. We won't. We all hold the character pretty sacred, and not to judge anybody else who decides to put on a costume and take pictures or do whatever. Malika Akkad really sticks to the purity of this character, because what happened to Mustafa and his sister, and the tragedy of that family, and being that his father had been so instrumental in creating this franchise and this character. Personally, no, I'd rather hold it sacred. I would rather hold it just to Halloween and nothing else. But that's me, and that's honestly the way most of us feel who've played this character.
So maybe a Halloween solo game. It was like a game based on Halloween.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But to play a B character in an A show, no, man. This is an A-list character. You know what I mean? Yeah. Give him an A-list show and make him a star. We can get a lot of violence out of that.
Yeah, I love it. Sal,
how you doing? What was it like doing Danger Theater?
Danger Theater?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I was stoned that day. No, man. Which movie was that?
It was the TV show with Dietrich Baker and Adam West.
Yeah. Okay. Great story there. So as a kid, I watched. Of course, I watched Batman, right? And so Adam and I we were rehearsing the fight scene in the bar, and so in the rehearsal, I throw a right hook and he ducks. So he ducks and he stands up and he goes, "Shame on you, throwing pot shots at aging superhero like me." And I was like, "Dude, you're I don't fanboy. But inside I'm going, dog, you're freaking Batman, man, he was an incredible gentleman. We had you had to remind me, dude, because there's so much stuff that I've done that I don't even remember I did. I just don't live in the past, man. You know, and it has to do with like probably 13 concussions and the 70s came late, the 60s came late to South Carolina where I went to high school. So, you know.
That's all right. The 60s and the 70s are all over Canada right now. So come on, visit us. You'll do fine. You'll do fine. We got a question in the back.
Hey, do you remember anything interesting from Freeway Maniac? Because you did a lot of interesting stunts in that.
Oh, that was so much fun. And Paul Winters, the director of that film, is still my very good friend. Yeah, man. Paul and I went and stayed in a lockdown ward. We stayed in a psych ward with paranoid schizophrenics, murderers, and but they were all doing the Thorazine shuffle, so we were pretty safe. But when we did that, we had an orderly with us, you know, to make sure everything was safe. And then we had a psychiatrist who would pop in and out and explain to us certain things, like what this pathology was and what this behavior pattern was. He actually showed me how to take over the ward, because they were going to challenge me, you know, the inmates were. And so he showed me the protocols, like how I would go about dominating this ward, this psych ward, which is something my character in Freeway Maniac would have done, you know, dominated the ward. And, you know, Paul and I have laughed about this. Like, we had no idea what the fuck we were doing. You know, because none of us had made a feature film before, but we knew we wanted to do it. We knew it was fun, and we were just making shit up on the fly. And it made somebody's all-time top worst film list. Thank God they left me alone. But Paul thinks it's funny, so we're good.
Love it. We're in the back there.
Hi, I'm AJ. I'm just wondering if you had to fight a certain person from the horror franchise of Michael Myers, I think who will win, Jason or Michael?
Jason's a pussy.
Me too. We got one up front here too as well. Good question, sir. Good question. All right, Lady Sal.
Did you know when you were making the Halloween movies they would go this far and become this cult classic?
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, knowing that they were anyhow. So, but as soon as I get cast in anything, as soon as my father was airborne, he fought in Korea. Then he was a stock car racer after that. And I have 6 brothers. He raised us all to be the same way. We're mission mode people. As soon as we get called into a mission, whatever that mission is, it's about the mission. Everything else is superfluous. So I never really. I mean, I know about the franchise. I knew that it would be successful. I'm a big fan of David Gordon Green's work. I read the script. I knew that it would be, you know, I know Chris Nelson's work, you know, knowing that we're making knowing that John Carpenter was involved, I knew that it would be. So that was a fleeting thought. And then I'm in mission mode. And then from mission mode, I have been in mission mode since, you know, but I assumed that it would be, you know, wonderfully. And we all knew shooting 2018 that we had something special on our hands. And we all have a lot of experience making movies. So when you get that feeling, you're like, damn, man, we're onto something here.
So your whole family is just adrenaline junkies? Like your dad was airborne, you said, and then became a stock car driver?
Yeah, but it's not adrenaline. That's the thing. It's the like, for instance, doing those fire gags. That I get so calm when I'm doing that. Right. It's not the excitement. It's being so focused that you get so calm. Dude, like the Dalai Lama should call me up and ask for advice when I'm in that zone, man, because it's just so peaceful, so centered, so grounded.
Right.
I wish I could live the rest of my life like that.
Yeah. It sounds like you found your Zen, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Zen moment.
Yeah. I love it. Sal.
Yes, when you were doing Dirk Hinderstad, you said it was a 5-hour makeup job. At the end, when Sarah kills you by breaking your neck, I noticed you went down very slowly and on your back and everything. Was that a tough scene to do with all that makeup on?
No, but what did happen was, you know, truthfully, the stunt coordinator, I was hired as the actor, right? And the stunt coordinator didn't know me. And And so they brought in a stunt double to do the fight. He was a big guy like myself, but he was a circus performer. So I tried to explain to him the way my body moved. It was very cat-like, and the way I was going to fight, very cat-like. He fought like a big man. He wasn't capable, and I took him out and showed him my movements, but he just couldn't get it. He just couldn't get my movements. And so Sarah, I went to Sarah and I said, look, man, this guy's not. I mean, he's a great guy, no doubt a great stuntman when it comes to high falls or crashing cars or whatever, but the movement for that character was very specific, and the stunt coordinator just didn't get it. And so Sarah went and talked to the coordinator and the director and said, look, James and I, but because of that, they cut out everything that he did, and they didn't have enough time for Sarah and I to really rock and roll. But what we did do was a lot of fun. She's so much like Jamie Lee Curtis, great athlete, incredible actor, like an incredible human being. So, I wish Sarah and I wish the coordinator would have been open enough to understand that our abilities to work were better than any stunt doubles he was going to bring in. But, that's the way that rolls.
We got another one.
You can go. You can go.
Oh no, I was just going to ask you because you mentioned Jamie Lee Curtis a couple times and Sarah there. Who are some of your favorite people to work with? And have you? I know people ask this all the time, but do you still get starstruck, or do you remember a time you were starstruck?
No, I've never been starstruck. The only person I've ever been starstruck meeting was Muhammad Ali.
Understandable,
dude. That guy. I'm an inch taller than he was. I was looking up. I mean, how's that happen? I was looking up at the man when we were standing, and he has this had this incredible ability to look you in the eye and make you feel like you're the only human being in the room.
Yeah.
What an incredible light that man was. Yeah. I mean, I found myself being so moved in his presence. And I've met the Dalai Lama. I've met, some of the Kennedys. I've met John McCain. I mean, I've met so many politicians, of course, actors and rock stars. I have lots of rock star friends. I'm not moved by anybody, but when I met Muhammad Ali, man, I was like, damn, this is, it was powerful.
Because he was bigger than boxing.
Oh my God.
That man was so much more than boxing. He was an ambassador for humanity.
He took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah,
dude.
He was that guy. I would figure it'd be the same meeting Nelson Mandela, honestly. I'd probably, that would be the one that I'd be like, sorry, we're just having a conversation here. Question right here.
My question is, I understand that during the Halloween films, you actually switched off being the Shape with Nick Castle. Is that true? No? No.
He played in one scene in 2018 where he's in the window and she pulls up. That was Blumhouse bullshit, man. It was publicity bullshit, and fuck them. He played in the window when Laurie Strode pulls up, and then when she shoots the weapon, it was me in the mirror. And Nick and I had hoped that we would get a transition, sort of the passing of the baton, and that's what we got, inhabiting the same scene. And of course, shooting the mirror, Nick wouldn't have done it anyhow because it's a live weapon with a projectile that was 2 feet behind me and 1 foot over. So they're shooting a gun right past my face into the mirror, and again, I get super calm in those situations. Nick's not so much. You know what I mean? But and then in Halloween Kills, he's not in it at all. And then Halloween Ends, he plays in the costume party, he plays the streaker. With all the condoms on the inside of his. And that was honest. I mean, honest, man, that was really disappointing because Blumhouse publicity lied their asses off and said that Nick Castle was back as the Shape. They thought it was some big marketing thing. When Nick read that in the LA Times, he called the LA Times and said, take it out, like retract this. This is bullshit. I'm not even in the fucking movie. I mean, it pissed all of us off, playing those games. I mean, who does that? Who takes someone's hard work and gives credit for that work to somebody else who, by the way, doesn't want that credit? Fuck those guys.
Awesome. Later, I'm going to get you to send a video to one of my friends who's a huge Blumhouse guy saying, fuck those guys. That'll make me happy. You had a question?
Yeah. In the last couple of movies that you have done, were there any movies you think you could have done another way and gave it a better perspective of it?
Let's stay away from the word better. Any film you do, I mean, it's a subjective reality, right? So everybody in there is doing the best they can with what they have to work with. Somebody has to take the helm. There's only one captain, right? There's only one captain of the ship, and that's the director, right? That's David Gordon Green. So I liken this, because a lot of people ask me about Halloween Ends. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are ambivalent. The thing about ends and making a movie is it's a team sport. Like, I played football, and I played basketball too. But the thing is, like, if you're gonna play in a team sport, you got to buy into the coach's program. If you can't buy into the coach's program, you have no chance of winning a championship, let alone winning it all. Mm-hmm. And so you need to find a new team. You need to find a new coach. So would I have done any one of these movies differently? Yeah, man, I'm a creative, and I have ideas. But my job was to fulfill David Gordon Green's mission and to do it with the best of my ability with as much dedication as I possibly could. So I'm proud of the work we've done. As a writer, which I am, as a filmmaker, I would have made a slightly different film, maybe a radically different film. I just feel fortunate to be involved with the people I was involved with, man. And that finale that we did, Jamie and I did, we both agree it's the most powerful thing we've ever done in film. Wow. For me, doing that scene with her was worth the price of admission, dog. I mean, it was freaking amazing.
And what a huge compliment from Jamie Lee Curtis. You can look at that career that she's had. Like, even just recently, you just think of season 2 of The Bear. I mean, she has like one of the best acting scenes we've ever seen. And for her to come out and say something like that, I mean, it's got to, like,
yeah, it was powerful.
Ultimate Zen.
Yeah,
Ultimate Zen,
dude.
if you will.
Yeah.
Another question over there? No? All right, cool. Oh, all right. We got one here for Spangler. Let's get some. Sorry, we'll get you, Sal. I just want to make sure new people get some here.
The last Halloween was kind of the last Halloween, but I'm sure they'll try to do it again. Would you be interested in playing Michael Myers again?
No, I'm done. I think a befitting end to this for me was having the character die. 10 years from now they're going to clone him. You know what I mean? Who knows? The franchise is not going to die. They're doing a series next. But for me, as an actor, part of the joy of doing what we do is we get to play so many different characters. To play just one character over and over and over. I mean, I'm grateful for it. I loved it, every second of it. Now I'm ready to play something else. Yeah. It's kind of fitting for my personality. I've never been married. I'm engaged for the first time in my life. Oh, congrats. So I'll tell Sarah you said that. So I think too is the joy of different creative expression that we get to experience as actors, stuntmen, writers, directors. We inhabit a very unique world, and believe me, most of us are very grateful for it. Thank you, though.
Good question.
Did you see the movie?
No, I have not.
Are you nuts?
He's dead.
Yeah, what's up, bud?
So you said that your dad was part of the Airborne. My brother is currently serving down in North Carolina with the 82nd Airborne.
Nice.
I was wondering which particular unit, if he was...
He was 101st.
He was 101st.
Oh, wow.
Air Assault?
101st, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's big. And Sal, I think you're going to be our last one here, unless there's any other questions. Oh yeah, we're saving the Alpha Sigma for last. Go ahead, Sal.
Now, your Michael Myers movies came right from the first movie, and they ignored everything in between. So, did they tell you to play Michael Myers differently because you weren't supernatural? You were just a regular killer?
They didn't tell me anything. The only thing David Gordon Green told me when I was cast, he called me at my house, and he said, we had chatted for about 15, 20 minutes, and then he said, okay, man, let's talk about this character. I said, yeah. He goes, okay, I want you to move like a cat. And I said, well, that's interesting. My cat Parsifal's sitting in my lap right now. I watch him hunt all the time. He goes, great. So anyways, man, I was thinking when you get down here, there's a place I want to take you to dinner. And that's all the conversation we ever had about the character. And Nick Castle and I have never talked about the character, ever. Not one word. We've never talked about the character. We've never talked about Halloween films. Nick and I are very good friends, too. I think very, very good friends. We travel together. We talk on the phone often. No, there was no direction. I was the guy, and this is what, Francis Ford Coppola cast me in Bram Stoker's Dracula. I didn't make it to the screen. We had problems with the animatronics, and he shot a freaking crazy long movie that had to be edited down anyhow. But one thing he told me was that 80% of his job is casting. So by the time David Gordon Green brought me in, I was everything David Gordon Green wanted and needed to play that character. And the great thing about him is he doesn't futz with anything. He doesn't mess around with what already. If it works, he just lets you do your thing. And if it doesn't, that's when you sit down to get up to the chalkboard and start drawing out new plays.
Love it. And our last one here.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what you're gonna throw up now, big dog.
Out of the three Halloween movies you made, which one was your favorite?
Dude, it's all one movie. It's like 18 was the first act, Halloween Kills was the second act, Halloween Ends was the third act. I'm with the same people wearing very similar. We're in the same. I'm wearing a mask. I'm the same director, the same actors. So basically, what it was is shooting part of a film, taking a break, shooting a little more of the film, taking a break, then shooting the end of the film. It just so happens that the aggregate is 6 hours or 5.5 hours of screen time, whatever that is. But dude, I've never had this experience before because in our world we don't get to have this experience where we make multiples. It's more like television that you get to have that experience. Like I was on Babylon 5 for forever, for I don't even know how many seasons. That was it kind of very similar, Yeah, man. And the only thing being that we shot alternative endings for 2018 and for Halloween Kills. But yeah, it's a good question though, man.
Yep.
Thanks.
And if I could just throw it out there, I would like to say that if I could see you in a role, I would love to see you playing the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four movie. Just as a geek out there, I think you've got the build down right. You've got the attitude right. I think you. Am I the only nerd here? Okay, all right. I'm like, this is a Comic-Con, right? A villain? Yeah. You've definitely never read comics if you think he's a villain. Oh yeah, well I could see that. Do you have any aspirations of joining on the Marvel or DC bandwagon? And if so, do you have a part that you would love to play?
Dude, no, I don't because for me. I'm more in my life, the way I've geared my life, I'm more into like walking the path and then seeing what jumps in front of me.
Right.
Seeing what kind of inspirations fall on me, what kind of people I meet along the way and what opportunities they bring. So for instance, I'm a big manifestation guy, right?
Yeah.
Manifesting is, I write checks to myself, I get them, but I started small and I'm getting bigger and bigger. So as far as playing a character like The Shape, like Michael Myers, I'd be on my motorcycle, I'd be lifting weights in the gym, I'd be, having a drink. And I'd say to myself, James Jude Courtney is the next. And then I'd leave it blank, knowing that the universe was going to fill that in.
Oh.
But all the other work I've done has put me in a position to be able to play another iconic character. I knew that I was going to play an iconic character. I just didn't know what.
Right.
Was it going to be John Wick? Was it going to be, what was it going to be? I had no idea. So my manifestation skills are more geared towards going, it would be fun as hell to play in a Marvel film.
Yeah.
But let's see what the universe decides. And if it does, what kind of awesome character would it bring for me?
You may have been a better Red Hulk than Harrison Ford. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We don't know yet. Ladies and gentlemen, have you had a good time here today? Have you learned a lot? All right, let's say thank you to the fine gentleman right here,
guys.
James Jude Courtney, guys.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Hey there, this is Nolan North, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Good for you. Very proud of you. Now go watch more. Oh, and have fun and follow your fandom. I like that.